If you're looking to learn what exactly a food industry quality control technician is, how to become one, and what they do, then you have clicked on the right video, because today we are going to be answering all your questions about this profession. Hey everyone, my name is Veronica, and here at FoodGrads, our mission is to help you find meaningful careers in the food, beverage, and agricultural industries. So let's dive into the topic at hand. What is a quality control technician? So it's very common in this industry that we refer to quality control technicians as QCs. So the essence of a QC's job is to help ensure the quality of food products. So essentially what they want to do is they want to make sure that the food products are safe to eat and they have the quality standards that you look for in all your favorite goods. Now keep in mind this definition is going to vary depending on the size of the company that a QC works in. So generally the larger company that you work for, the more defined of a role you're going to have. But if you were to work in a smaller company, it's more likely that you'll be taking on a larger amount of roles that are not necessarily QC, such as quality assurance, which we will cover in a future episode. But for this video, we're going to just cover a more defined role. So you can find QCs in three main areas. That is working in the laboratory, going out and checking the production lines, and sitting in front of paperwork. So let's dive into the first one, which is laboratory work, which, as the name implies, is when a QC works in a lab. So these tests can be subdivided into two categories: safety tests and quality tests. So safety tests are the ones that make sure that there's no foodborne illnesses, allergens, or other bacteria which might be harmful and affect the safety of consumers. So tests might include performing an E. coli or a salmonella test, testing for allergens. So for example, at a snack food company, if you were going from one product that contains milk allergens to one that does not, even if you declared on the label that it might contain traces of it, you still have to do an allergen test. So what you would do is you would swab the surface to see if there's any milk proteins that are present on it, and using a test that looks much like a COVID test, you would swab it, put it on the test, and if it's negative, that means that the production can continue going. But if there is a positive test, that would mean that production would have to wash the surfaces again, and they would have to keep going until that test is clear and it is negative. So another food safety test that is also used is testing to see if the metal detector is working properly at a food facility. So actually at the very end of these production lines, they actually have a metal detector. And this metal detector is a safe measure to make sure that if a piece of equipment was to break during production and maybe there was a screw that was somehow, it just somehow appeared, it doesn't get caught into the end product and a consumer could choke on it. So the metal detector is there to help prevent this from happening. So a quality control technician would have to verify that the metal detector is actually working properly. It cannot be understated how important these tests are, because these are the tests that help to prevent foodborne illness and prevent people from getting sick if they were to consume something that has it. So if there was a foodborne illness that was detected by a food processing facility, hopefully by doing these tests, they can catch it early on so that these products never leave the facility and they never get to a person in order for them to get sick. So very, very important. So now on to the quality side of things. So not only does a quality control technician make sure that the food that you eat is safe, they also check the quality. Quality tests happen at three different points. First, when the ingredients come into the facility. So that is, let's just say you're getting incoming ingredients, you have chocolate chips. Were they coming into the facility being the right texture, the right color, the right labeling, everything that's necessary? A QC will check that. They will check the production line, making sure that as the products are being made, that they are checked properly. And QCs do this at certain intervals through the day. The goal is to try to do it at a level that you're checking it frequently enough for it to be caught if there was a problem quickly, but not too much that you're just standing over a production line. Now during this time in the production facility, when they are checking the products, it's not just the products that a QC will be looking out for, but they'll also be making sure that the products are being made in a safe manner by looking at production staff. So this might involve looking to make sure that everyone is wearing their proper safety attire. So lab coats are properly buttoned up, they're wearing their hairnets, hands are being washed, proper safety boots are being put on. They're also looking around the facility, making sure that there's nothing that could impede the safety of a food product. So let's just say that there is water that is dripping from the ceiling. If that was to happen, they would mark it down, make sure that the area is safe, there's no food contamination happening, and they would try to get production to deal with that problem because that is a food safety concern. So again, they're looking at the product, they're looking at the people, they're looking at the facility. A QC is always paying attention. They're always checking on what is going on in a facility, and they're making sure that the food is safe and it upholds food product standards. So if a food is not being made in a way that adheres to company standards or to food safety body regulations, then something does have to be done about it, and it will be written down, and there has to be some kind of follow-up action that happens. And that's actually a really good way that QCs manage food safety concerns, is that they write it down, because once it gets written down, it has to be dealt with, because these types of things are tracked by different food safety organizations such as SQF, GFSI, NSF. These are all big food safety names, which we can cover in another video, but for now, these are very important when it comes to ensuring the safety and the quality of food products. So if you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you would like to become a QC technician. The experience and education needed is going to vary depending on the company that you work for, but generally it's accepted that you have either a college or university degree. And notice that I said both college and university. And that's because both are generally accepted, because this is considered to be an entry-level position that you can have right out of school, which you can then use to build your career further. A QC with a university degree usually has one in a STEM-related field, such as microbiology, biology, chemistry, food science, anything in that general area, because these are the courses that are going to teach you the scientific fundamentals that you need to know in order to be a QC. Understanding how different bacteria exist, how they live, types of chemicals that can be used to break them down. These STEM courses are going to give you the foundation to understand how to do that. But alternatively, you can also go to college, and college courses that are related to the fields of regulatory affairs, food science, science, lab work, any of these general areas, they can teach you not only those lab skills that you would need to know on how to use as a QC, but again, that scientific knowledge that's required in order to understand how food safety works from that science perspective. It is also highly recommended that you have certifications that are related to the food safety bodies of the companies that you work for. So having certifications like in HACCP, Hazard Analysis Critical Control Points, or having SQF certifications, any of these food safety things will really help you in your resume, and you can put those keywords on there.